Will you be ready when the time comes? Will you be ready when the time comes? Oh, Lord, I thank you. So much is going on. People are preparing for war. People are putting hits out on people. It's crazy. But they say there's nothing new under the sun. So we may as well just stay ready, as Sugar Free say, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So we ready. I know I'm reading the Bible and say, if you're dirty, stay dirty. If you're clean, stay clean. Whatever you are, just stay there. I know it also says, no man knows the hour or the day that the Son of Man will come and, take your soul away. It'll be all over. When it's all over. When it's all over. When it's all over. Ooh, ooh. It's going to be a brand new day. Some people say it ain't like what we think it is, it's the end of a time. It's the end of the world system. Not necessarily the end of the world where everything's going to go. But I tell you, the way things are going, honey. I mean, look what they're doing over there. And I remember Stevie Wonder, Iran, Iraq, what they're doing over there in the other countries. Israel, The Bible says, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. I believe it said, they shall prosper that love thee. Y'all check me and see if I'm right or wrong. Bottom line is, pray for yourself. Pray for your family, and pray for your community, your surroundings. And, it's like, what do you say when you pray? Oh, Lord, help me. Help us, Lord. Help us to survive. What do we say when we pray? Great question. Be real, just say how you feel. Give honor to the Most High. I'm going to tell you, I've come to the point where I speak, to the universe, the mother of the universe, the creator of all life, the creator of everything, the universe. They talk about Mother Nature, Mother Earth. It's very it's very inclusive when they talk about the Godhead. They never really speak about the feminine power. They always just talk about God, He. Everything is He. But the she is very present. So, because it spoke about in the image, that they made man, it was male and female. So where did she go? Man has tried to put her away. She won't be hidden long, baby, because she's speaking. The universe is speaking. And I call the universe the matrix. You know that? Where all things are created, where all things are going on inside the matrix, inside the womb that the woman carries, the woman. So the universe is speaking. They speak about the stars are all aligned. Things are visiting the earth. I know they got drones out there. I think in some of my photos, I've seen something that didn't look like no drones. Yeah, they didn't look like drones. So I said, the ancestors, the angels and the aliens, it's all action now. It's all action, lights, camera, action. It's on. So, I pay attention to what's happening up in the sky. Don't be so focused on what's happening here. Look up there, see what's happening up there in the morning, noon, and night. The reality is we are not alone. We've never been alone. I don't know how it's just come to this point in time. I guess because it's time for change. It's time for real big change. I know I've prayed, other people have prayed to really move this thing along, advance in the kingdom of the Most High. The kingdom is on earth. The kingdom is coming, and the kingdom is, in here. And so all the different components that we've heard and been taught and spoken about, and it's just, a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. So, I'm reminded of a song, because see, in the 90s, we were very active in writing songs and going to the studio and producing songs. He's coming soon. He's coming soon. Will you be ready when you know he's coming soon? He's coming soon. He's coming soon. Will you be ready when you know he's coming soon? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do when you know he's coming soon? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do when you know he's coming soon? Rest in the Lord and wait on him. Depart from evil and do good. Stop your gossiping, murmuring, and complaining. Mark the perfect man, for the end of him is peace. He's coming soon. Yeah. He's coming soon. Yeah. Will you be ready when you know he's coming soon? Well, we actually did that in the 2000s. I think I remember that around 2003. We had a group, Sister Bernita, Sister Crystal, and her sister. Ooh, I see her face, but her name is kind of, it's not coming to my mind. And Shanika, we had a wonderful time recording there in Los Angeles. And then the Kingdom Kids, hurry up. The Lord is Oh. Okay, here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Hurry up. The Lord is blessing you right now. You better hurry up. The Lord is blessing you right now. Hey, what's your trouble? Ba-da-da-da-da. Don't worry about a solution. Get on the double. Give what the Lord expects of you. Do. You said, who shall I give? Who shall I give it to? Where shall I go? How will I know? Give yourself to Yeshua. Listen, go where he says go. Listen to the Holy Spirit, then you will know. Ooh, you better hurry up. Yeah, the Lord is blessing me right now. You better hurry up. Yeah. The Lord is blessing me right now. Hey, you. What's your trouble? Yeah. Don't worry about a solution. Get on the double. Yeah. And give what the Lord expects of you. Yeah. That's my history back in the day. And what was that one? It's time for you to start giving God the praise. I know that was 1990. It's time for you to start giving God the praise. Yeah. It's time for you to start giving God the praise. It's time. It's time. It's time for you to start giving God the praise. And my nephew, he said, well, I'm Dion, and we're the Kingdom Kids. I like shines, and it won't be here. We're like a city that's high on a hill. We're praising God, and we won't be still. So listen up to what we've got to say. It's time for you to start giving God the praise. Come on. Don't be shy. When he comes, you can meet him in the sky. There was a time when I didn't know what to do. I went to church and I learned these rules. You shall love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, soul, and mind. You shall love thy neighbor as thyself. Honor your mother and your father so your days will be long on this earth. Yeah, we had wonderful times back in the 90s with the children, the Kingdom Kids, and recording, rehearsing, children come knocking on your door. Are we practicing today? It's just, a time to reflect on what made us who we are. How did we get to be who we are and where we are today? I'm over here in Baltimore, Maryland. And being over here is quite different than being on the West Coast. Being in Los Angeles, it's quite different because, like I said in another gathering, people in Los Angeles, they don't really have time for much, like they used to, because there's so much going on. They have so much to choose from and so much to do that you come with something, unless you've got some money, behind it or something, it's like, miss me with that. So I just found myself in Los Angeles just kind of like, just, I don't know what to say, just kind of run out, run out. Then, coming over here, it's like the opportunities are there and people are ready to receive you because they're looking for support. The industry of musicians and artistry, everybody's left here and they're going out, to Hollywood, or they're going all out on tour. So they come home, they say, some of the guys are talking about, oh yeah, we come home to Baltimore when we come off the tours and things, we come home and we jam. It was a soul food restaurant, I think, called Next Phase. That was wonderful. I wanted to go back and sing on their Monday night. It's tonight. Or was it Friday night? I don't know. If it's Monday or Friday, I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to go back. Never did. But I did find a place to sing on York, 4603 York Road, the House of Chiefs, Miss Eartha Harris. And we went over there a couple times and sang karaoke. And then I just sang, how I do a cappella. And I was looking for a piano. Now, I found one in this studio, this recording studio, but I didn't record playing the piano. And I'm hoping to do it before I leave because I'm scheduled to leave the East Coast this weekend, go back to the West. So I do desire to go to that studio and record and play that piano before I leave. So I got to make some calls and let that be known. But I'm thankful that I did record some more a cappella. What was it? Jehovah reigns. Jehovah reigns. Jehovah reigns. Jehovah reigns. Jehovah reigns. Ooh, Jehovah reigns. In my body, he reigns. In my rescue, he reigns. Wherever I am, he reigns. In my household, he reigns. Yeah. Anyway, Jehovah reigns. Jehovah reigns. Yeah. Yahweh. Yeshua. Yah. And so I'm thankful because those recordings were great. And then I did a old song that we did, Alpha and Omega. It starts out, I love to praise. I love to praise. I love to praise. I love to praise because you're the Alpha, Omega, the beginning and the end. And I love to give you glory. And I love to give you the praise. I love to praise. Yeah. I love to praise. I love to praise. I love to praise your name. I love to praise. I love to praise. I love to praise. I love to praise your name. All the honor, the power, and the riches belong to you. And I love to give you glory. And I love to give you the praise. I love to praise. So I'll say that, I'm looking for some choir members, some singers. I don't belong to any particular church association now. I mean, I hate to say it, it's been almost 5 years. However, I do wish to establish a choir because I miss being able to play the piano. I know my nails are growing, and this one would generally always end up breaking. I'd be sitting and all of a sudden, oh, dang. So they're kind of going a little long. This one broke. This one's doing pretty good. This one's breaking on the side. But anyway, that's the thing of playing the piano, organ and stuff. You do miss a nail or two. So having a choir, I call it a universal choir. I would love to do that. So if you're interested in, singing and learning some of the songs that I've written, I would love to have you be a part of what we're doing musically. And, I've had so many phone numbers this year in 2025 alone. I think I've had 3 numbers. But I'll give you this one, just in case you guys want to call and say, yo, I'm just listening to you. I'm interested in being in your choir. You can call 559-816-9102. 559-816-9102. If I answer, great. If I don't, text me. And then tell me you're interested in joining the choir. And then if you want to email me, they pretty much stay consistent. I have FLOW, FLOW, for Family Love Outreach Workshop Flow MDM for $1 Million March. Family Love Outreach Workshop $1 Million March. Flow MDM at Yahoo. Yahoo.com. Flow MDM at Yahoo.com. So those two ways surely get you to, contacts with me. And then I have the website, my dear sister friend Clara created for me about 3 years now. Yeah. It's $1,000,000march.us. MILLIONDOLLARMARCH.us. $1,000,000march.us. Okay. Love to have you go there, and you can send a comment or contact information, leave your information, let us know who you are. If you're interested in downloading any of the information there, there's lots of information. You go to the products and partners page, you can see people who we're associated with and working with. And, however we can be of service to you, let us know. We're bridging the gap, closing the gap, and allowing people to know your freedom is better than anything, and your ability to serve and help the underserved is even greater, and your ability to praise the Most High is the greatest. So these are the things we seek to do: be free, help the underserved, and, praise and thank the Most High Yah, and, leave information that can be helpful, and being mindful of other people. We work with veterans, the homeless, and, just people that have a need. People are out there all over the world, all in the streets. They're going through mental instability. They're going through homelessness. They're going through hunger. They're caught in the culture of gangs and, street life. And it's very dangerous out there. And I really recommend y'all come in. Get out of the streets, because it's changing, and they're out there with all of the other ruckus going on, so y'all stay out of the way. Keep yourself out of the way. Find yourself something to do, get your newspaper route, but you still be in the streets, but, make a business out of something that can give you some income. And I used to say, find something to sell other than harmful things and things that are illegal that'll get you in jail. Find some things to sell. These kids here, they be selling water and things, if that's all you can do, then do it. Candy, cookies, chips. Get your little snack box and got your snacks. Keep it neat, look clean, look neat, so people will want to buy from you. I remember we used to go to Smart and Final in LA and buy cases of candies and cookies and chips and corn nuts and poly seeds, whatever the youth wanted there. And I had it on my counter, and they knock on the door and come on in. What you want? What you want? They get what they want. It was wonderful. I always kept some extra money. I always had some cash on hand. So, and recommending things to do, people will always want some candy. They always want something sweet. So, you can keep that, whether it's sodas or ice cream, buy a case of ice cream sandwiches and drumsticks, not the fried chicken, but, the ice cream drumsticks. And then, hey, if you can cook, people can go for, buying a piece of chicken or a hot dog or a hamburger. I used to cook burgers too, and greens and rice with gravy. I was doing a lot over there in that apartment complex back in the day. So I'm saying this to say you guys have to be encouraged to do more for yourself than maybe what you've done. We can't depend on anybody. We can't just keep asking for a handout and people to, come to our rescue every time. We got to be mindful that a lot of people are going through. Finances are not like they used to, and people getting laid off, on their jobs. I know the government has cut, I almost want to say 40%, but they've cut a lot of people, and it's really a devastating time for a lot of people, and people who own homes, and it's like, I can't afford my house note. I can't do this. So I met a guy here in Baltimore, and they're doing the mortgages. I think it's called reverse mortgages, where you got to be over 62 for that. So if you're over 62 years of age and you have a home and you're concerned because you've got some equity in the home, and equity may end up going down because of the housing costs are going down, things are happening, the rates, you may want to consider doing a reverse mortgage so you can get some money out of your home, get some of the equity out, put it in the bank or put it in your closet somewhere, but put it somewhere where you could either create some percentages, what do you call it, some increase in yeah, 3-4% interest, um, people are getting into this blockchain and all that kind of stuff. I don't really, so that's on you. But if you like some information, I do know of people that can help in these instances. So I would definitely be glad to lead you to people that I know that have knowledge, and I pretty much would say I trust them. So I would love to introduce you to the people that I know that are reputable. So again, 559-816-9102. Flow, MDM@yahoo.com. So, send me an email. Let me know what your needs are. If you're looking for jobs, I have my friend Brad Carson on the West Coast has Jobs Create Peace. If you're looking for uniting in your neighborhood, you want all your neighbors and the young people to get together and find some kind of way of working together, I say reach out to me because Brad also has United Hood Nation, and it teaches you how to work together in your neighborhood. So you're not just out there, alone. You've got support and you're using your resources to better your life and your community. I guarantee you it's better together than it is alone. Okay. So I'm just encouraging you all today, and it's Monday, June the 16th. A lot's going on. I tell you, these opportunity zones. Have you heard about those? They're places, we've been hearing about gentrification, because communities have been like dilapidated or left alone, or empty buildings for so long, and you see a whole block that's like torn down. You see a lot of that here in Baltimore, on the west side of Baltimore. Pennsylvania Avenue, I was over there and they were telling me that's where Red Fox had his club at. It used to be going on like Central Avenue. That's what I figured. It was like Central Avenue, but only in later times. Central Avenue was like taken out back in the day. I don't know when, I can't remember the dates that Central Avenue got, shut down, where it was action for Black people, I guess when they started segregating and going around getting in other places, integrating, not segregating, it was integrating. They kind of shut down Black clubs on the east side, and they started moving out west, hanging out with the West Siders. But kind of same thing here in Baltimore. So, but I just want to hip you guys to the opportunity zone opportunities because it's what we would call gentrification in LA. They big developers come in and spend a smaller amount of money than what they normally would if it was up to do, and they buy the whole block and they renovate it, tear it down, put up apartments, put up a shopping center. That is available to you. You just have to put your dollars together and maybe get you build your investment group. And that's what I suggest. You guys have to, trust somebody at some point to connect with, to advance yourself, and people well enough. You know who's reputable and you could really trust. You've seen people, you've been around them long enough to know, I want to invest some business funds with you. I want to go into business with you and get you a few others that y'all know. And not only do you pray together, but you plan together, and you go head on and walk that thing out and buy you some property in those opportunity zones. So if you want to Google opportunity zones and find the opportunity zone in your community, you could do that because I did that. And I had been hearing about opportunity zones and blah, 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 opportunity zones and opportunity zone funds. And we want to invest it. I'm like, what the heck is opportunity zones? So I Googled it. Great information. So I just want you all to know we have not because we ask not, and on and on and on. And when, what it says about that. And then it says here a little and there a little. We got to do more than nothing to make things better and easier for ourselves. And so that's what I'm suggesting. Um, Real estate development. They say that's the quickest way to earning $1 million or making $1 million is to invest in real estate, buy you some real estate. So the opportunity zones or dilapidated areas that have been sitting for years, homes, apartments, whatever it is, businesses, and they're abandoned. So the city basically, has access to them. And so now sometimes people still own them, you can deal with them too. But generally it's an area where the city has taken over and people, are putting, monies together. And it's not a whole lot. You probably do something for $100,000 and get you a great piece of property. Just depends. $10,000, 50,000, $1 million. So just start researching and start talking to the banks. Go to your local bank and make a relationship with the bankers and let them know, express your interest. And if you already own some property or if you have something that you can leverage, they may, lend you some money or find somebody, you have no idea. People will partner you with someone that could invest with you, and you all can get some of that property in the opportunity zone and you can build up your own communities in the way you want it to be. That's the way. We don't have to complain and do a bunch of talking. Just get out and start finding out who owns this, and go to the city planning division and start asking about where's the opportunity zones here in Los Angeles. I'm interested in getting some property, and I'd like to, find some investors because there are investors who will invest with you. You understand? So, but it's all about building relationships. You got to build a relationship because people do want to know they can trust you and they want to believe in you, but you have to give them something to trust and believe in, okay? So what's your track record? If you're not working, you're an entrepreneur, they look at your balance sheet. Are you taking time to file your taxes and all that stuff? All that matters. So get yourself in gear because I don't believe, based on what people have told me, we've got more time to take advantage of things that are going on. In other words, the market may be going down in certain areas, declining uh, job rates or whatever is going on, but it's going to be an opportunity for some people to take advantage and invest in properties and invest in businesses and do well. So I suggest that you all begin to put your dollars together. Call your cousins and your aunties and your uncles and say, hey, let's have a family meeting. Let's talk about how we can structure a deal and buy some property. And it may not have to be residential property. It could be business property where you could create a community center, could create a business that could be like a club or, a school, a church, create something that you can get some income off of, something be coming in. So you all think about it, pray about it, and be real about it. It's time to make some moves. It's time to make some decisions that's going to move us forward, advance us into a greater financial capabilities. So I'm just suggesting um, becoming foster parents, real heart for the children. You understand? That's a real deal because a lot of people have gotten into it for the money and for exploiting the children. And I rebuke that spirit, in them, and cancel their assignment in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Loose those children. And so the point is, we got to be real about it. There's a need for righteous people. And I remember the scripture. It says they were going to come to destroy the city. And it said, well, if you could find 50 righteous people, will you? Okay, had a little call. But if you could find 50 righteous people, will you not destroy the city? And then it was like, well, how about, I think he got all the way down to 10, 5, I don't know. But it was very hard to find anybody, and eventually the city got destroyed. So saying that to you is like saying this: let's operate in a zone that's an opportunity for us to win, okay? And I say peace, blessings, power, love, and a sound mind. Thank you so much. Time can go so fast, but I love to talk and give information. 559-816-9102. Peace.